What's going on, guys? Spikezillion here, and today I wanted to make a updated video on the Lightsworn list. This is the July version of the list of 2025, and this list is friggin' awesome. Every single day I try to come up with new ideas for this list, and slowly but surely I'm optimizing every little bit of it to make this list super sick. Every single time. It just gets more and more impressive every time I play it. I know people are going to look at this and be like, what the hell is this garbage? I'm telling you, this list is amazing. It's immaculate. This list is phenomenal. It's not going to win you every duel, okay? I can't guarantee you'll win every duel, but it will win you a lot. And at least in Master Duel, I have spent a ton of time with this list. With a little bit of differences. There's like Max C and things like that. We're definitely on Master Duel right now, for sure. Definitely not on a third-party program created by someone that is very, very smart, a lot smarter than me. Definitely not. So, as you can see, we're playing with the 2014 December TCG ban list, because they don't have the newest one. But I promise this is up to the standards of that ban list anyway, of the newest ban list. With that said, we'll talk about what's in the deck, and we'll do some hand testing today. If you guys have any questions in regards to this deck list, let me know in the comments section down below. But I'll explain a lot of the stuff as I go along and the reasoning for everything being in there. The side is kind of like still to be continued, because I'm kind of just throwing everything in there to see what sticks, and to be honest with you, I don't own Perilias in real life, but I would love to. So you could probably take out the Raigeki and put in 2 Perilia and 2 Meowls, but I just left it as is for now. I also thought about putting Meowls instead of Raigeki, but I have a reason for Raigeki. We'll talk about it. So let's talk about the non-engine first, because that's easy. It's just 3 Ash and 2 Fuelos. Believe it or not, they don't come up very often. They're just kind of there to be there sometimes. It's kind of a nice little plus. Like Ash, more so than Fuelos, comes up more often. Fuelos, I find, is kind of a mixed bag. Especially, obviously, if I'm going first, it really doesn't do anything for me, right? In terms of other non-engine, we also have Talents, we have Thrust, we have Grass. I don't think I have to explain any of these cards. Thrust being at 2 feels pretty good. I think being at 3 is good, but I find more often than not I ended up drawing 2 of them when I had 3, and it was really annoying because they do fucking nothing if your opponent doesn't see you interact with them, so I thought it was kind of annoying. We also have the Black Goat Laughs, and the reason that we have Black Goat Laughs is actually because it is a fantastic thrust target. Additionally, if we already have it in hand, and you have an Emseti in hand, you can also send it with Black Goat, send Emseti with Black Goat, and that allows you to be able to do Black Goat effect calling Nibiru, so that they can't Nibiru you on your turn, and then you get to go crazy. So it's a pretty sweet set of cards here. I think, in terms of non-engine, this feels basically perfect. Now, in terms of other stuff, I guess you could say Assault Synchron's also non-engine, but alright, let's start talking about some engines here. We got like 4 engines to go through. So let's talk about the Fiendsmith line for... Actually, let's talk about the Lightsworns first, because it makes the most sense. So we have 2 Fellas, 3 Wolf. I feel like that's a pretty good ratio of the Millers. We have a Garroth still. This card is still phenomenal. If you don't have a normal summon, which 99% of the time you won't have one anyway, this is a great normal summon, because you basically just get more cards. You get to draw tons more cards for free, or you get to mill the rest of your deck for free, which is nice, because you kind of still want to keep thinning, even if you've already gone through a lot of the rigmarole. Like, ideally, you'll end up keeping like a King Sark or 2 inside the deck, so that you'll just happen to draw and be like, oh, sick, I'll just place this down and win the game. So, realistically, I think Garroth is a fantastic option still. We have 3 Dragonling, 3 Weiss. I don't think I have to explain that if you've seen the last couple videos. Dragonling is amazing, and Weiss is also amazing. Also, Weiss is searchable through Tracked, which is why we play 3 Tracked, but we'll get to that later. We have 1 Lumina Lightsworn and 1 Lumina Twilightsworn still. The reason for this is because of Selene. We can Selene special summon either of them, and then start doing Lumina loops. Obviously, you could do that more with Curious and stuff, but realistically, I only need them to loop each other once at max, because then I can just make access code with them very easily. Or you could also make Chaos Angel with them, and then loop them enough to the point where you could potentially even do access code as well. I used to play Michael in the list, and you could do Michael plus Lumina Twilightsworn to make Chaos Angel with Light and Dark. But really, you could just do that anyway with Lumina Lightsworn, Lumina Twilightsworn, and then like Wolf or something. Literally any Lightsworn monster that I think isn't a tuner or something like that, if I remember correctly. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Basically, you just use 3, a 3, and a 4, and you got it. So it's fantastic. They're still really good. I still really like them. They're probably the most cuttable thing if you really don't want to play them. I kind of get it, but I like having them as well because they're just additional names for JD and PD. It gives you a little bit more opportunity for Zombie Vampire to mill 4 names, so that's fine. Next is Raiden. Raiden is also the other good normal summon. Like, these are the 2 normal summons, really, most of the time. These are going to be special summons from Celine and stuff. Raiden is awesome. Obviously, it's a really good normal summon to start off with. Really no complaints with Raiden. I think he's good. He's fine at 2 copies. Like, I don't want to see him all the time, but I want to see him, like, every once in a while. He's kind of just a nice card to have. Next, we have the 3 Wolf we already talked about. Then we have 3 Charge the Lead Brigade. We don't play any Solar Recharge. That card sucks. I realize now it sucks. And Aegis. We play 1 Aegis because it's just nice to set it sometimes. So if I can't set this because I already have it in my hand, I can set the other card. So it's 2 different sets for Thrust going first. It's not too bad. We also have a D-Barrier for that as well. But anyway, next, let's talk about the Fiendsmith line. So we have 1 Lurie, 2 Engraver. I think 2 is fine. I don't think you need more than 2. 1 Crimson Tears. Some people say... I can't remember if they say 3 Engraver and 1 Crimson Tears is pretty good, but I found myself not really needing 3 Engraver. It feels very unnecessary. I don't really want to draw it most of the time anyway. Like, I feel like it's kind of pointless. I'd rather just draw Tract straight up and then just mill Engraver later. Like, I think that's just better. Or, like, obviously you just send it with Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, so I don't know. It's fine. Did I say 1 Lurie already? Because, yeah, 1 Lurie. And then in the actual extra deck, we have Requiem, Sequence, and Desiree. I do not play... in Master Duel, I do not play the level 6, which is, I think, Lacrima Fusion. I don't play Aerial Eater, Necroquip, any of that stuff. I find myself just keeping it this way because it keeps it simple. I want to have the least amount of extra deck buffer of Fiendsmith stuff as possible, so I can still play a bunch of other stuff and make a gigantic pile of things on the screen. So that's what I've left with. And then I have 3 Tract, of course, because Tract can search for Weiss in addition to Lurie, in addition to Fiendsmith Engraver, in addition to Lacrima, the Crimson Tears. So those are all the targets. And 99% of the time, Weiss is going to be a great choice, especially if you already have Lurie in hand and you have Tract. You just search Weiss, discard Lurie, and it's great. You can also add Weiss, discard Weiss, so that way you have a Dragonling live if you're really desperate for a play. But yeah, most of the time it's just for the reason to search Weiss. It's great. It's such a fantastic card. I used to play Fiendsmith Paradise, but to be honest with you, I kept drawing it, and I was just sick and tired of that bullshit. So, I think that card is super mid, and it's not really that interesting at all. So I gave up on that. I'd rather just make Desiree on the field, and if I didn't deserve to make it, I didn't deserve to make it. That's the end of it. I think it's kind of a waste of a card, and I think a lot of people are kind of trending that way too. I think a lot of people really don't like that card anymore. So I have also dropped it out of my list as well. Next, let's talk about the Horus line. Got 3 Mseti, got 1 Dwamatef, we have 1 Happy, and 3 King Sark. This did not change from the previous list that I had done. I think I did a video on it. Yeah, this is the definitive list of the Horus cards, I feel like. I don't think I need the Earth guy. And I don't think I need any more of these guys, but Imseti is just such a phenomenal card. I end up leaving Happy on the board most of the time, though, because it's nice to be able to get an additional King Sark so that they can't just, like, wipe the King Sark off the board with an SP or something, and just win the game, right? Like, I have the opportunity to place a King Sark down and still fuck with the guy. So I think Happy ends up being my favorite guy to keep on the board, and I think that's not controversial, hopefully. So that's that. We also have Judgment Dragon and Punishment Dragon, of course. They're both great. I have no complaints about that. Assault Synchron is here. The reason for Assault Synchron is so that you can make Bystial Dispatter with the Judgment Dragon or Punishment Dragon. You can also make Chaos Angel using the JD or the Minerva level 8, which is awesome. And you can also do a number of other things with it. So if you have a Dissipator on the field and you have an Assault Synchron in the grave, you can tribute off the Dissipator for Bestial Rebellion, and then you go Assault Synchron, banish itself to place the Dissipator back on the field. So he's pretty cool. Speaking of Bestials, we have everything that's not Baldrake. We have one of each of the friends, and we have 3 Bestial Rebellion. It's pretty good, and that comes with Branded Regained. We do not play Branded Beast. I think you probably could, but I just don't think it's necessary. I think Regained is fine. So yeah, that's that. Is that every engine now? Have we talked about all the... I think I've talked about all the engines now. We also have 3 Seifert. Seifert plus Dragonling in the hand means that you can normal summon Seifert, effect tribute the Dragonling in hand to add a Dragonling to your hand, and then that gives you the opportunity to special summon itself by using itself, which is great. You can also just get Dragonling straight up from it, or you could tribute off a JD or PD to get like Bestial Rebellion or something, but I feel like that's kind of pointless. I usually just do this just to get the Dragonling Surge, because 99% of the time you'll need it. So really you have 6 copies of Dragonling, which is awesome, and 6 copies of Weiss because of the tracks. That's awesome. And then, well, I guess 9 copies of both of them, because we have this too. So yeah, lots of different opportunities to get these guys. We have 2 tier cards. In Master Duel, this is 2 Shiren. I think 2 Shiren's just better. I think Havness is kind of bad, but we kind of have to play with Havness, because the reality is that you're not really trying to normal summon Merly, and you want at least 2, well, at least 1 Tearlaments monster name in 2 copies in some way, shape, or form, so that way you can make Mud Dragon in the Swamp. The reason we want Mud Dragon in the Swamp is, 1, it's great to have non-targeting, because it kind of puts them in an awkward position as the opponent. For example, I could do Mud Dragon in the Swamp effect in draw phase, calling Dark, and that makes it so the opponent has to shotgun Imperm right away, which is a big deal, because if I have a Minerva on the board or something with Aegis on the board, I can just flip Aegis, target the Imperm, and now they're really stuck. They just basically lose immediately, because they can't be Chaos Angel, and Chaos Angel is unaffected by monster effects and shit. They'd have to figure out some other way to get around it. So I like Mud Dragon for that reason, but the other reason I like Mud Dragon is because if I use it as Synchro material, I can make Dragite, and now I have a Water in the Grave. So it's a fantastic option for that as well. It's kind of a double duty situation. It's great. I think that's every card, right? We talked about everything? I think so. Everything in the main deck, anyway. So we already talked about Desiree. We talked about Mud Dragon. Next we have Dragite. Spell Negate. It's pretty great. I think it's better than Hope Harbinger. But that may be controversial. I'm not sure. I think Negate and Destroy is just better. I don't know. I don't want to have to worry about materials and shit. It's a lot of extra work. I think it's easier to just make this guy, because you end up making a lot more level 4 monsters than level 8 monsters. So I ended up opting in for Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord instead for the second rank 8 monster. Which doesn't come up very often. It's usually one or the other and not both in a single game, but sometimes it happens. We have Dissipator and Chaos Angel, kind of a duo together. A Bystial plus a Fellis or Weiss allows you to get Dissipator for free, so that's great. And then in addition to that, we have Chaos Angel, which can be made in several different ways. You can do it with the Assault Synchron plus the Minerva. You can do it with a Bystial plus like any level 4 Lightsworn ever. You could do it with a number of different things. So it's pretty great. There's a couple different options available to you. In the rare occasion, I may also do like Fiendsmith Engraver plus a Lightsworn, but then the problem is that they're both light, so he becomes kind of bad. I kind of want the battle protection, because it makes things like Dissipator a lot more intimidating, just in general. So yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Minerva, Synchro 8, obviously, no shit. This is the probably the best card in the whole deck. We have Minerva Xyz, which is also a fantastic card. It's a great pairing with Garroth as well. We have the Photon Lord. We have Zombie Vampire. I don't think I have to introduce this card. This card should almost be banned. This card's insane. We have Access Code Talker because I needed a game ender for game 2 or turn 2, and I didn't have one for the longest time, so I opted for Access Code because he's just simple. He's a quick and easy fix to most problems in turn 2, so that's great. We have SP Little Knight, which is obviously very good. A lot of the time I end up SPing on turn 1 and less often on turn 2 because I keep forgetting that if you try to do the on summon effect, the problem is that you can't attack directly and then you basically lose the game unless you can just make an unbeatable board, but you're not always aiming for that, right? So, it's kind of a mixed bag. I usually end up using her in turn 1 more than turn 2. Next we have Lina. Lina's good. The thing about Lina that's really, really nice is a lot of people right now are playing Veiler and Nibiru and shit. So it kind of gives you the opportunity to be able to special summon Veiler. If you're fighting against Blue Eyes, you can special summon a Blue Eyes, which is great because they're level 8s. So you can do stuff like make Zombie Vampire. Although you can make Zombie Vampire anyways with the Lina effect regardless. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's a lot of lights. I think Lina has a lot of potential to be a really strong card in the future. And then she turns into Selene, which is great. Selene can special summon out the Luminas, like I mentioned. You can also special out the Imseti as well. So there's a lot of different cool options that Selene can allow for. So that's that. 3 Lancia, I don't think there's a shock on that one. 3 Perulia because, Mitsurugi. Nibiru because Nibiru. I think people were saying Nibiru's bad this format. I'm kind of leaning towards I think he's probably pretty good again. It's hard to say because a lot of decks don't lose to Nibiru outright anymore. They just make worse boards. So, be that as it may, we'll see. Call by the Grave because I don't know. I want to avoid Meowls. Cross out Designator just in case, like for like Fuelos or Ash or something. Or like on the rare occasion where someone else is playing Imseti or something, I could maybe do something like that. Raigeki is interesting. I was thinking about this for a long time. I would love to make a video on it. I think Raigeki has a lot of potential in this format. I think Raigeki is really strong because a lot of decks don't really want to be destroyed before you interact on the field. I think on-field interaction with monsters has become extremely dangerous and you kind of are stepping on eggshells constantly. Raigeki kind of gets away with murder in a sense that like you can't really like avoid this like you can with Lightning Storm, for example. And so Mitsurugi kind of gets chalked by it, and it forces them to use plug-in if they're playing with Ryziel, which is really, really good for us, because then that makes it so Detonator is significantly less impactful, so I think that's a really big deal. It kind of makes it so they have to force cross out, like Ryziel cross out, if you understand what I'm saying. And then D-Barrier is just, I don't know, man. Floodgates are so broken right now. I needed Floodgates in this list, so... yeah, that's basically the whole list. I know this is a really long introduction. It's 18 minutes. I'm always taking forever, but let's test out the list for a little bit here. Alright, we're gonna try our first test hand here. Oh, man. This is an interesting hand, actually. This is a really spicy hand. I think, realistically, we don't even have to do Engraver Effect, but I guess it's bonus. I think it's bonus. Let's just do Fiendsmith Tract off the rip here. We're gonna grab a Weiss here. This might seem kind of counterintuitive, but we're gonna send Engraver. We have good reason for that. Next, we're gonna do Safeard Effect here. And we'll go Safeard Effect. Tribute itself. Add the Dragonling. We're gonna do Weiss. Put away the Wolf. Special Weiss. Mill 2. It's a decent mill, I guess. It's not super great. Special Wolf. We're gonna do our Minerva combo here. Here we go. Minerva. Alright, Minerva effect. To send 2. We're going to send a Fellis, and we'll send a second Weiss. Fellis 1, Weiss 2. Target the wolf. Now, the Weiss is going to be engraved, which is important for 2 things. 1, it's going to allow me to be able to use Dragonling here. And 2, it's going to be able to be shuffled back by the Fiendsmith as well. So that's pretty cool. Here we could probably just make Dragite, realistically, but I don't have a water yet. So I think, for the sake of discussion here, I'm actually going to do this. We're going to do Magnemite here. We're going to banish the Weiss. Now, why would we want to banish the Weiss? The reason for that is actually because we can make Dissipator and then summon it back anyway. So we're going to do Effect here to search in the end phase. We're going to make Dissipator here, using our 2 friends. Here comes Dissipator. I'm going to do Dissipator. Summon back the Weiss. I like that it auto does it for me on this very legal version of Master Duel, for sure. Right, so now we can do Engraver if we want, which I think we probably could. Yeah, I think we could. That's fine. And I'm trying to think. We do Fiendsmith Engraver. Actually, let's do Engraver first, I think. Actually, that's fine. Do that. I think Fellis is Engrave anyway, so I could still do Dragonling here if I want. Okay, here's Fiendsmith Engraver. We're going to do Link 1, make the Requiem. Now, why would we need to do the Requiem anyway? There's a good reason for it. We just want to get the Lacrima out. We want Lacrima in the graveyard, if we can. And I think we should be able to get her in the graveyard, no problem. We're going to send the other Engraver, so we don't have to waste our time milling it later. And we're going to go ahead and do the sequence. We might as well do these 2 friends, I think. I think that's fine. Make sequence. Sequence effect. Get this out of the way. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. We're going to keep the Weiss in the graveyard if we can. So that way we can banish it for milling 4. We have Desiree. There we go. Now we can use the sequence. We could do some other shit. So we could do SP here, which is pretty good. Or we could also go the Selene route. We don't have a spellcaster yet, so I think for safety net, we're going to go ahead and do the SP route. SP's probably fine here. I do not want to SP banish. Not right now, anyway. Sequence effect. Target Desiree. Place that. Now it is time. Now we can do Dragonling effect. Summon. Effect. We are going to send probably a Fellis here. I think that's fine. Because we could just make Dragite, I think. I don't think we need to do anything more. We could technically do Minerva and hope to get some draws here, but I think Fellis is okay here. I'll send Fellis. Fellis effect. Summon itself. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead. Actually, yeah, you know what? No, forget it. Let's do Dragite. Let's see if we can hit the water. There's a chance. There is a chance. Dragonling effect. Finally. Finally, we get Dragonling effect. Let's get Punishment Dragon. The other nice thing is if we hit a Bestial Rebellion, we can also summon the Bestial Rebellion and summon Dissipator back. Because we have the Assault Synchron in the grave at the moment, so that's also pretty good. We want to do 4 different names for the banish. Okay, that was not very good. That was pretty bad. But that's okay. We have a pretty good board as it is. And realistically, if I really want to, I could just do Zombie Vampire with the Dragite, but instead I'm actually going to do that with the Punishment Dragon here, because we can actually summon it back after. And maybe we can get a good opportunity here. So we're going to do Punishment Dragon plus Minerva. Now this is definitely OD. I don't think you have to make Zombie... I think you could just make Photon Lord and pass here. But I am greedy, and I want to get a water monster. So we're going to go ahead and mill 4 and feel like a whore. Mill 4. Mill 4 from them, too. Special summon a monster. He's playing Balancer Lord. This very real player is playing a Balancer Lord. Really here, I guess we could get the... We could get the Raiden out, but like, yeah, it's kind of pointless. Did we hit anything else notable? Not really. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Let's get out the... Let's get out the Raiden, I guess. Let's hope to mill some more. It does kind of suck to have Raiden out here, but we do get the Bestial Rebellion here, so that's pretty good. Let's just go ahead and do Raiden effect. There we go. That's what I wanted. And that's perfect, because I can use the Zombie Vampire for that. That's great. Perfect. That's actually great. So now, that is great. Because now we can have a Dragite Water on the field, so that's pretty fantastic. We also have Seifert. We can target the, we can target Bestial Rebellion here. But I don't think that'll be necessary. I think we can actually just do Punishment Dragon and just leave it at that. We have no more board space anyway. We have no point. No reason. So, what we'll do, in order to get the Blood Dragon into the graveyard, we'll just do this. We'll do Minerva. Maybe we could draw some cards too. What are the odds? What do you think? Let's do Minerva. Let's detach the Mud Dragon. Did we draw? We did draw one. Nice. Wow, it was a Bestial anyway, so that's great. And then, yeah, at this point, we can kind of go crazy. Because, like, we have everything. Like, we're good. We have literally nothing else to do. Other than just OD it up. We could do... Well, okay, we don't have regain, so there's no point in making Bestial Rebellion here. So I think we actually just summon Punishment Dragon here. And we leave the board as is. I think this is pretty good. The Minerva does kind of suck to sit here. But what's nice about Minerva anyway is the fact that she... when she gets destroyed by Battle or Card Effect, you can mill 3 and then destroy cards non-targeting equal to the number of Lightsworn cards we send to the graveyard by that effect. So it's pretty good. Punishment Dragon's great because we get to shuffle stuff back. Like we can basically Shizu it up, so that's pretty sweet. We have the Desiree with 2 negates, we have the SP, we have the Dissipator, and then we have the Druid's Worm. If we really needed to, we could banish something from their graveyard somehow. After we SP to, I don't know, move 2 things off of our board or something. Yeah, so this is a pretty good setup. And we also have the Spell and Trap Negate, I forgot to mention that. So, we didn't hit Aegis, but we could have also hit Aegis as well and gotten even more out of that. So, it's a pretty sweet little board, I must admit. But yeah. That's a pretty good looking board. Let's try another board, shall we? Alright, let's try a second hand here. See what kind of progress we can hit on this one. Ooh. Okay, this one's just Lightsworns. That's insane. Let's see if we can get a pretty nice little charge here. Ooh. That is an interesting charge. We have the Lumina Twilightsworn Shaman. So we could just use that with the Shiren. We don't really need the Twilightsworn Lumina. We could just normal summon the Garroth here, so it's actually pretty good. I think that's fine. We're gonna draw like fucking crazy, I think. This is gonna be a crazy turn. Oh, never mind. Shiren doesn't activate. I forgot. It's not. It's cost for the mills. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna do Garroth here. We're gonna draw a million cards. Let's run it. Let's run it. We target Wolf. Obviously, this is hoping that there's no Ash. If there is Ash, we cry a little bit, but it's okay. Not a big deal. Wolf. Why did Garroth not activate? Oh, I guess I didn't control Weiss. I see. That's fine. It's okay. We're gonna get it again anyway in just a minute here. Minerva. Okay, here we go. Minerva effect. We're gonna send Fellis, and we're gonna send Weiss. Now Garroth is gonna chain in here. Yeah, so we're gonna do... Chainlink 1... Chainlink 2 Fellis... Chainlink 3 Weiss. Target the Wolf. Alright, here's the wolf. Here's the Fellas. And the Garroth will mill too. Let's see if we draw. We did not draw. That's okay. We got more. We have 3 other opportunities at least, or 2 other opportunities minimum. And we could do even more right now. Do we have a water in the grave? We do. So we could just Dwamatef, or we could Dragite right now. That's great. Realistically, we could have also just made the Minerva Xyz here and just get even more draws off Garroth, but I think it's okay. I think that's unnecessary. Let's do Dragonling here. Dragonling effect. This kind of feels like bonus too, because we might mill a Lightsworn here and kind of fuck everything up, but we'll see. We'll see. Very unlikely we'll hit a wolf here. If we do, I'll just be very sad. It's okay. Let's summon that. And Garroth Chainlink too. Wow, I did hit it. Wow, okay, but great draws though. Holy shit. That's awesome. Okay. Should we keep drawing more? I think we should just do a little bit more. I'm a little greedy. Shall we? Shall we? Time to be extra greedy. Let's draw even more cards. Okay, I didn't hit there. That's okay. Dragonling effect. Get the JD. Oh, we hit the Punishment Dragon already, apparently. Okay, no draw there, but we do have Black Goat in the grave now, so that's awesome. That's pretty good. That Chainlink 2 was bugged. That's weird. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, damn, that was kind of a rough mill there. the mill, all the other friends there. We have the JD now, which is cool. I suppose we could summon the JD here. Because we'll just rank 8 it anyway, after the fact. How many names do I have? Was that necessary? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. It must have been necessary. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's mill even more. And feel like a whore. I'm cracking myself up. Draw some more, come on! Oh, I didn't chain Sarnier. Okay, whatever. Aegis effect. Set Aegis. Great. That is great. JD is here. We're gonna do Zombie Vampire now, which is very bonus. This is very unnecessary, but we're just doing it for the content. Zombie Vampire. Zombie Vampire effect. Let's run it. We'll mill the JD here. Or send the JD. Ooh. Ooh. We hit Engraver. We also hit Lacrima, though. That's pretty good. I think we just do Engraver. Like, I feel like the Lacrima is just bonus here because we would just send Engraver anyways. And I want to go Engraver into... Yeah, I think this is fine. This is quite good. This is good. Yeah, you'll see. It'll make sense. Why can't I make the... Oh, right, because she's there. Oops. Is there a light? Perfect. All the more reason for me to epically make Lena. That's great. Okay, this worked. This worked. We're gonna start clearing our board here. And start fixing the board right now. Alright, Requiem. Requiem effect. Summon up the other Engraver. This sounds unnecessary, but I promise you this is worth it. Now here, we could make Chaos Angel. Now again, this is gonna be light only Chaos Angel. We're not gonna be able to be protected by attacks or anything like that. So, can we get around that? Not really. Not really. Not that I can think of anyway. Realistically, I think it's probably worth it. We could just make Chaos Angel here. Yeah, this will make sense. You'll understand why in just a moment here. Because we don't need Gareth anymore. This is unnecessary. We make Chaos Angel here. We'll put it in attack. And the reason we put it in attack is because it can be destroyed by battle, so we want to be as fat as we can. Now we can do Engraver effect. We can shuffle back the Lurry here, I think is fine. Summon out the Engraver. There we are. We can do Lena now. Lena effect. And we'll grab, literally doesn't matter, I think, at all. We'll do Alexandrite Dragon because he's funny. Let's take that. Let's make the sequence. Sequence. Do Engraver. Requiem. Requiem might be kind of nice to just have here. I'm gonna do Weiss here and another Engraver. Get the Desiree. Now we can equip the Requiem if we want to the Desiree. It's bonus. And then we can do Sequence as well, but we can link first. Now, do we want to link into Selene? Do we have enough spells in the grave? We have 1, 2... I have at least 3, so that's all that matters, really. We can summon Imseti with that, which is not bad, or we can summon the Lumina Lightsworn from our grave, which is pretty sweet. I think that's actually the play here, so let's go ahead and make the Selene. And now we can equip our guy. 6 equips is great. Let's do Sequence, equip that to Desiree. Great. Now we can do Desiree, or Selene effect, I mean, excuse me. Okay. We can summon out the Lumina Lightsworn. Here, do Lumina Lightsworn. We can banish. What would be the objectively correct thing to do? It would just be the Lumina, I think. Or the Minerva, excuse me. We don't have a Lumina in the grave, which is unfortunate, because that would be a really good answer. We could also do Raiden here and hope for more mills, or hope for more hits. Target the Raiden. Summon him out. Now, I can make SP with these two friends, which is pretty good. And this SP is destructible by battle, in case it's relevant to anyone here. You can go ahead and banish the Cyber Dragon, just to do it. Goodbye. Okay. We can do Raiden, Mill 2. What are the odds we hit something? Oh my god, we hit something. Oh baby. That's heat. Oh baby. And really, we could just leave them on board because we have Aegis on the board. So realistically, we have 2 negates off them. We have a really good board here. Like, we really don't need to do anything else. This is so bonus. We somehow did not hit a single Seyfert, which is really crazy to me. But that is not a bad thing necessarily. It's not a big deal. We could play without the Seyfert. The Wolf and the Raiden here are fine. I think this is a pretty fine board, because realistically we have 2 negates now with Aegis. This is still a pretty sweet little board we got going on here. It's not too bad. Some might argue that these guys were a little bit extra and kind of unnecessary. I argue it's more for playing with yourself. Anyways. Bad jokes aside, sorry, this is horrible. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about this beautiful Lightsworn pile. We didn't even get to see Imseti at all. Imseti did not make an appearance, nor did Bystial Rebellion, and yet you can still see the cogs turning. This is a phenomenal deck, and I really hope you guys try it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll do a stream with this deck soon, and you can see more of it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.